Hi guys, so today's look has been requested a lot recently. It's nothing special, it's my current go-to look. I've worn it in a few videos and a few Instagram posts and a bunch of you were asking about it. So here we have a nice warm chocolatey eye with brown liner and these slightly ombre red lips. So I'm going to go over the skin with you today as well. So starting with the skin, I'm first going in with a primer. Next I'm going in with a concealer and I'm using the peach shade to cancel out the blues and the purples around the eyes. For my foundation, I'm still using the NARS Sheer Glow foundation and I feel like I fully worked out how to make it work for me now because I went through a rough patch with it, but I feel like we're working out now. So I use very little product, even less than this in day-to-day life, but I'm taking into account that the camera is going to wash me out. Then I use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and I use it wet, and then I just bounce that product in mostly around the edges of the face to begin with, and then when I have less product on the sponge, I start bringing it towards the center, having the least amount of product on my nose. I've been finding recently that this foundation was breaking up on my nose because of the hotter weather, but since I've been applying less there, it hasn't been a problem, which might sound like a no-brainer, but I'm always quick to just blame the product instead of how I'm applying it. So just try different ways of applying things before you decide you hate them. Then I'm going back in with the cream coloured concealer of my spots. Underneath the eyes, I'm going in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and then again I'm just going to bounce that in with the sponge. And I also use a little brush to get into that area at the side of my nose because the sponge is like pretty massive and I can't use that to get in there. I really want one of those tiny mini beauty blenders, but I don't know, I've heard mixed reviews about the mini ones, so let me know what you think of them. Then I set underneath the eyes straight away to avoid any kind of creasing, and then I also set anywhere that's creasy or greasy, which sounds really gross, but there you go, you're gonna remember it. For bronzer, blush and kind of highlight, I use the Park Avenue Princess palette from Tarte. I really like this palette for everyday wear because it's way more toned down than the kind of thing I'd usually go for in my videos. And I say kind of highlight because it's not very intense highlight, so I just use it on the apples of my cheeks. I kind of just mix it in with the blush, and then I go in with an actual highlight on the high points of my face later on. My contour, I used Fawn by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and for some reason I don't have any footage of me applying that underneath my cheekbones, but I definitely did, and I also went down the sides of my nose as well. Finally, I muted all of that down with a pressed powder, and then I finished off with a highlighter, and this is Mary-Lou Manizer by theBalm, and it's just super intense and kind of just my go-to of all time. Moving on to brows, I'm back to using my Rimmel brow pencil because I have used up all of my brow wiz. So when I'm using this brow pencil, because I don't find it too easy to be super precise with, I just kind of go in really messily and then I just clean them up with a concealer and then set them in place with Eyeko brow gel. So starting on the eyes, they're actually pretty simple compared to my other looks where I apply like a minimum of 5 eyeshadows every time. This time we only have 3, and as always I'm starting by applying a primer and a base colour so the blending is easier. So I came across this product again the other day while I was moving my makeup, and I've always avoided it because I couldn't see a reason why I would use it, but now I'm like halfway through the stick and I love it. It's the Makeup Forever Aquamatic eyeshadow stick. By itself it creases and it's not that impressive, but if you pop an eyeshadow over the top, that eyeshadow will have the greatest pigmentation and staying power. So I apply this on the lid and then I start to blend out the edges a little. And there are 1,000 more brushes better suited for this task than the one I'm using, this weird shaped thing. But I needed to use a synthetic brush and I only had this one at hand. I have no idea where my other brushes have gone, so I had to use this one. So after blending all of that out, I went in with Hazelnut from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and I applied this all over the lid. Then I took a big fluffy brush with a mixture of milk chocolate and semi-sweet, and then I just went over the edges, blending everything together and outwards in a rounded shape. But then that's it. It is so easy, and just look at how much dimension there is because of that base. It's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Just look at the outer corners and just how much darker they look. But it's literally just the same colour all over the lids. Recently I've been wearing brown liner a lot, so here I'm just applying a Tarte Clay Pot Liner in, you guessed it, brown. Still loving these. I still have nothing bad to say about them. I think they're really great products. After that I highlight underneath my brow and messily in the inner corner just to brighten it up there because it does get quite dark. Then usually if I'm wearing makeup, then I'm actually doing something and I've probably had to wake up at some unholy hour and my eyes are probably going to be red and tired looking, so I go across my waterline with a cream coloured liner, more to cancel out that red than to make my eyes look bigger, although it also does that too, which is just a nice added bonus. The mascara I'm using at the moment is the Marc Jacobs Omega Lash Mascara, and it's a pretty dry formula, which is exactly my kind of thing, and I do really like it, but I doubt I'll repurchase it because I would never spend 16 quid on a mascara because I always wear false lashes, so it's not really worth it for me. Also I know a lot of drugstore ones which are just as good, but I know some of you will spend good money on a mascara, so hashtag Emma recommends, I guess. It's a nice mascara, I do like it. So the lashes I've been wearing every time I've worn lashes recently is the XOBeauty false lashes in the style the Feline, because you see they have all this volume in the outer corner. I really like that. Every time I saw these lashes before, just in the box, I didn't think I'd really like them on myself, and I don't know why, I just had that feeling, but the first time I wore them I was like, I kind of have to wear these forever now. For the lips, I first lined them with a dark red lip liner, and then I feathered that inwards, leaving the centre free of product. Then when I go over it with the liquid lipstick, and then I smush my lips together, you can see that it has a slight ombre effect because of that base, so that's great. It's like, it looks super velvety and it's super easy. But then that's it, my current go-to look. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.